On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome everyone to our May 13, 2019 meeting. The time is now 7 p.m. We do have a quorum of the board present. I call this meeting to order. This evening, Mr. Rector will lead us in prayer, and John Molinak will lead us in the pledges. If everybody will please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we will thank you for what you do, our staff and our students, that you have blessed us to see the end of another year. We come saying a special prayer for all our graduates who will be graduated at the end of the month. Pray, oh God, you touch them in a special way. Some will be going to college, some will be joining the workforce. I just ask you blessings upon them as they make their decisions to start their life off. And oh God, I just want to ask special blessing for our family of Victor Galvan, oh God. Touch them in a special way. Give them strength, give them comfort at this hour. And we ask you blessing upon this meeting. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Rector. On behalf of the board, to our parents, we want to welcome you tonight. It's always a special time when we can recognize our students. As we all know, the whole purpose of public education is to educate our students, and when we can recognize our stars in the district, it's always a special time. At this time, we are going to recognize the Panther and Employees of the Month, and I believe Ms. Grant will read those names.
Panther of the Month for Fall Early Childhood has selected Maria Alamon as their April Panther of the Month. Maria is the daughter of Norma Escobar and Mark Alamon. She is a first grade student at Fall Early Childhood. She has a little sister named Erica that she enjoys playing outside with her in her spare time. She also has a cat named Sweetie. Maria's favorite color is purple. She likes school because she gets to eat snacks, go to art, and play with her friends. When she gets older, Maria wants to be a mom and work at McDonald's. She was selected as Panther of the Month because she is a dedicated student. She tries her best when doing her schoolwork, and she usually has a smile on her face and is a good friend to others. She follows school rules and the teacher's directions. Bach Early Childhood is proud to have Maria Alamon as their Panther of the Month. Congratulations, Marie.
Is Marie here? No?
Keeper Elementary has selected Kaya Morris Chamberlain as their April Panther of the Month.
Hi.
Is a third grade student at Keeper Elementary and is son of Tanya Chamberlain. After school, he does his homework as soon as he arrives home. And then for fun, he likes to play outside, and sometimes he'll throw the football around or paper airplanes. His favorite subjects in school are math and science. He loves science because Mr. Bamberg and Mrs. Robinson make it so much fun with all the labs and interesting things they do. He likes math because he enjoys working the problems and finding the answers. When he grows up, he would like to be a professional football player. Kaya was selected as Panther of the Month because he works hard, he is respectful, cooperative, and responsible. Keyburger Elementary is proud to have Kaya Chamberlain as their Panther of the Month. Charlie Marshall Elementary School has selected Tara Bush as their April Panther of the Month. She's a 5th grader at CMES. She is the daughter of Davy and Brittany Bivens. She has one stepsister, one stepbrother, and 3 brothers. Her favorite color is turquoise, and she likes to spend time helping her mom with her siblings and playing video games. Her favorite subject in school is science. She likes science because she can learn new things every day while spending time with her friends. She plans to attend college to become a kindergarten teacher. She was selected as Panther of the Month because she is always respectful and always puts others first. We are very proud of her hard work and dedication. Please join us in congratulating Tara Bush. She is one of the many bright stars we have at Charlie Marshall Elementary School. AC Blunt Middle School has selected Liliana Villarreal as their April Panther of the Month. She is an 8th grade student at AC Blunt Middle School. She is the daughter of Beatrice Otero. She has an older brother, Marcus, who has already graduated from high school. Liliana has a dog, Pepperina, and 2 cats, Chiquita and Cornbread. Her favorite class at school is technology because she likes to learn about the computer. She's very much an animal lover and will take in as many lost animals as she can. When Liliana finishes high school, she wants to attend college in Indiana, where she wants to study medicine. She was inspired by the doctors and nurses at Driscoll after visiting the hospital many times as a child. She would like to become a nurse and maybe someday work at that hospital. Liliana was selected as Panther of the Month because she is a shining example for other students. She was nominated by her teachers because she always follows the rules, she makes good choices, and she works hard to be successful. AC Blunt Middle School is proud to have Liliana Villarreal as their Panther of the Month. Congratulations. Aransas Pass High School has selected Rachel Smith for their April Panther of the Month. Rachel is a freshman at Aransas Pass High School and is the daughter of Gary Smith. In her spare time, Rachel enjoys relaxing and hanging out with friends. Rachel's favorite subject in school is anything that has to do with the human body or health care. She plans on attending college to become a registered nurse. Rachel was selected as Panther of the Month at Aransas Pass High School because of the hard work and dedication she exhibits. Aransas Pass High School is proud to have Rachel Smith as their Panther of the Month. Fox Employee of the Month for April is currently in the hospital. We'll be recognizing her at the June meeting. Keeper Elementary has selected Jennifer Gentry as their April Employee of the Month. This is her biography in her own words. She was once my student. I lived in Aransas Pass all my life. I have been married to my husband Matt for 25 years with 3 sons. I've been working with the district for 10 years and have been a cafeteria manager for 6. This year I managed Flock and Keeper for APISD, which I could not have done without the great ladies at both campuses. Mrs. Gentry was selected Employee of the Month at Keeper Elementary because of the hard work and dedication she exhibits to our students and staff. Keeper Elementary is proud to have such a great employee like Jennifer Gentry. Congratulations. Charlie Marshall Elementary would like to honor Latrice Martin as their April's Employee of the Month. Ms. Martin has been a part of our CMES family for 15 years and has been working in public education for 22 years right here in the Coastal Bend. She works hard to inspire her students to be the best they can be while preparing them for success no matter what career they choose. She was inspired by one of the teachers, Mr. Spar, to pursue her first degree in chemistry and began her career working in a uranium mine and eventually an oil lab. She always found time as a mother to spend time at school with her daughter, which led to her returning to school and pursuing a second career as a teacher. Ms. Martin is currently teaching reading at CMES and has also taught math and science. She keeps asking me to return her to her love of science, but always adds, "In all seriousness, boss, I'll do whatever you need me to do and what's best for the kids." When she's not busy working hard at CMES, she can be found reading, working around the house, or maybe having fun at a Renaissance festival with her daughter. APISD and Charlie Marshall Elementary are lucky to have Latrice Martin as part of their family and honored to call her their Employee of the Month. Philpott was selected by her fellow teachers as Employee of the Month at A.C. Blunt Middle School because of the hard work and dedication she exhibits for our students. This is her biography. Kelly Philpott started teaching part-time at an ASTEC charter school in Oklahoma City. Middle school Spanish, where only low-income, above-average intelligent students were allowed to enroll. She had no textbooks and a budget that only allowed 10 copies a day, elective per teacher, and had 85 students packed into 3 class periods. From there, she moved to high school and coached girls soccer and had the privilege of adding art appreciation to the Spanish teaching plate. She took a 2-year hiatus to raise babies, then returned to teach in the small farm town of Toluca, where she taught Spanish in the Distance Learning Lab and had over 180 students across the state of Oklahoma. Kelly then moved to Highland West Junior High, in Moore, Oklahoma, where she taught Spanish and coached boys and girls soccer. After another baby hiatus, she tried elementary teaching in Dibble, Oklahoma, another very small convenient farming community. That was not for her. She moved to Texas with her family when her husband retired and have been an AP ever since, living the dream in paradise. We are very proud to have such a great employee like Kelly Philpott at A.C. Blunt Middle School. Congratulations. Okay, for the Employee of the Month for the high school, we have a very special presentation. Mrs. King, would you please come to the podium?
Okay, is it on? Okay, Steve, first of all, the high school employee of the month is Mr. Wayne Bennett. Typically, I know you guys get a biography, for everyone, but we couldn't tell him because we had to do it covertly because he's been nominated several times and he always turns it down. So he couldn't turn this one down. So Steve, do you have the PowerPoint ready?
Yeah. Where's the tech guy? I got a flashlight.
Just kidding. I called Mrs. Bennett today and got a few notes. Okay, so not really. Here it goes. As you can tell from the draw, Mr. Bennett was born and raised in Jasper, Texas. He graduated from McNeese State University in Louisiana, where he played baseball on a 4-year scholarship. How am I doing? Stand up here. Yes. Everyone else has to. He coached and taught in several districts before he found his home in Aransas, Texas in 2003. Mr. Bennett has been at the high school for all but 2 of those 16 years. Is that right? You were at the middle school for 2 years? 4 years. 1 year. Okay. And I believe that the senior class this year was the first, he's had them as an administrator all the way through. So he's graduating them all the way. Mr. Bennett loves golf, fishing, hunting, and brushing up on his Spanish with Mrs. Gonzalez. He has 6 children, 3 dogs, and is married to our beautiful Pam, aka Pumpkin. So, Mr. Coach Bennett, you'll be missed at the high school on a daily basis. No, I'm not kidding. You've been a fantastic instructional leader, teacher, coach, and friend to your staff and your students. We will miss your humor, compassion, and your mad cooking skills. We hope you'll bring us some of that pecan chocolate pie. The what? The ham? Oh, you lied. Okay. Mrs. Hell is an exceptional addition to our APHS family, but she can never fill your chair because you took it with you.
Okay, State of Texas, Office of the Governor. When a child is away from the love and comfort of their parents or guardians while at school, being sick or injured can be a particularly difficult experience for the child, as well as the parents or guardians. When these circumstances arise, school nurses are more than prepared to attend to wounds, treat illnesses, and provide a generous dose of reassurance that helps to heal both the pain and the fear. As healthcare professionals, nurses are not only a vital part of the school environment, but an important element of a child's healthcare network. From the daily treatment of chronic conditions to the role of first responder should an emergency occur. The demands placed on school nurses cover a multitude of healthcare needs. School nurses also put their extensive training to work by promoting disease prevention and management, contributing to mental health services, providing information about health topics, and encouraging healthy lifestyles. Each May, a day is designated to recognizing school nurses for the tremendous work they perform and the important part they play in young Texans' lives. At this time, I encourage all Texans to join in honoring our school nurses for their tireless dedication to our children. Therefore, I, Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas, do hereby proclaim May 8, 2019 to be School Nurse Day. And I'm not Greg Abbott, but we do all appreciate all the things that our nurses do. We have an exceptional bunch of nurses. Congratulations. Okay. In celebration of National School Nurse Day, I'd like to recognize each of the district's nurses for their dedication and hard work for the students of Aransas Pass Independent School District. Sally McCutcheon. The APISD Board of Trustees would like to recognize Nason Brown, who advanced to Nason. Sorry, Nason, sorry. Who advanced to the UIL State Track Meet in the 100-meter dash. He represented APHS at the track meet in Austin on Friday, May 10th. Congratulations. Hope a lot of good things. Okay, the APISD Board of Trustees would also like to recognize Sienna Cruz, for being named the Region 14 winner of the Take Care of Texas Kids Art Contest. 16 winners out of 5,200 entries to the statewide art contest, sponsored by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, TCEQ. That was a great picture. Good, congratulations.
One copy. Again, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to congratulate our employees and our students. Our motto is commitment to excellence in everything that we do, and you can see the shining examples that we have with our staff and our students. And again, we want to congratulate you for your hard work. We're very proud of you. At this time, we have the public comment section. Have anyone that signed up? And at this time, our regular meetings commences with reports and other financial information. Parents are more than welcome to stay with us. And we also realize that evenings are busy with homework and dinner, so if you need to leave, this would be a good time to do that.
Boys, gotta hold my right hand though.
Agenda item number 4 are the superintendent reports. Ms. Cook, I'll let you go through those.
We've changed the agenda just a little to put a lot of our reports and all the things that we handle administratively under superintendent reports, and then those that are a little bit different, we try to organize things, so I hope you find that okay. I know it's going to be through, but so we're trying to organize everything. So I'm going to go through these, and then feel free to stop and ask some questions, otherwise I'll just keep going right through them. The first thing is our public relations report. We like to give this to you because the big push we've been having this year is to reach out into our to the public and make sure they know all the great things that are going on here and get the information out. We've done that through Facebook. It's one of our main pieces with each campus and district having a page. You see, we continue to give the report there. We also have an average reach of Facebook over time, and this is the number of people that at any moment in time have received content. This is just the past 3 months. You'll notice that for APISD, we had quite a sharp increase March to April. We think a lot of that was due to the spring fling. I appreciate Blaze does a fantastic job of pushing out the information to the district, and she did a lot of real cute ideas and different ways to get the attention to the point that it just pays off when you would push this information out to our public, because at our first annual spring fling, we had over 700 in attendance. 142 cars came through for the food drop that the middle school was doing, with 571 families that were touched through receiving food during the food drop. About 50 agencies were there to give information out and provide access to on-site access in many ways, from Identikit to getting our blood pressure checked to different things. The Lions Club was there for checking the students' eyes, actually adults too, anyone that came through, get their eyes checked while they were there. So it was a wonderful event. I think it was more than we could have imagined. I want to say a special thanks that she is here tonight, Rochelle King, for leading out in that and keeping us focused and keeping us moving forward. But there were so many people that were involved in it. But this just shows you that Our community's hungry for us to reach out to them, to have information for them, to provide access. If you didn't get a chance to come, it was just joyful standing there watching our community come and laugh and play and have a good time, and I just appreciate everyone for doing that.
Real quick, Ms. Cook, I just want to commend you, because one of the things that we talked about during the interview process is the board was hungry, and we wanted that information to go out to our community. We wanted to start those partnerships, and since you joined us in December, we've seen a tremendous improvement in getting the word out, not only in events and accomplishments, but our image. So thank you for doing that. I know it takes a team effort for your staff too, so thank y'all. I've heard nothing but positive from civic leaders, parents, grandparents, so you guys are doing a great job, so keep it up.
Next is our construction update. Todd is here this evening, so I'll let him lead out. You have quite a bit of information in your packet that we received prior to us posting, and then those things that we received today, we ran off and put at your seat. So if they all go through, and hopefully you have the documents in front of you.
Welcome, Todd.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity tonight to present the status report. If you look at the status report, it was from a couple weeks ago, so we'll have a new report out tomorrow. We've got our construction meeting tomorrow morning. If you look at the first photograph, that's basically a picture of the front entry. The site's pretty wet right now, otherwise the general contractor would be working on the front parking area. So we're waiting for that to dry out a little bit. The second photograph below that is in the library, so all the walls have been painted, the first coat. So in the library, you've got 4 different colors of paint. They'll be bringing in the lighting and the furniture pretty quickly, so that's progressing nicely. The third photograph is a typical classroom in the school, so all the lights in, the border tile is in. As far as the ceiling, the cabinets are all in, and they're getting ready to sand and clean the floors so they can install all the tile. The fourth photograph is the existing gym, so that gym has been totally repainted. It's got new air conditioning, new ductwork, and new lighting. They're holding off the flooring until all the storage is taken out of there, all the furniture that's being stored right now. So the next sheet, I want to talk about the new gym complex. The first photograph is the front entry, the new canopy. It's been since all installed at this point, so it's all up except for the columns around the canopy. And then the sidewalk is about 80 or 90% complete, so that'll tie into the existing parking lot once the site guy can get back on site to demo. The second photograph is the gym lobby area, so that's all been painted, 2 coats of paint, and they're getting that area cleaned up and ready for ceiling and flooring work. The third photograph is inside the gym. Pretty much all the painting's been done and everything's protected. They're doing a little bit of ceiling paint still, and they expect to get the flooring in pretty quickly. We've got the general contractor here. We'll go over that project in a little more detail. The fourth photograph is just the regrading that was done at the front of the high school. Once the roof was complete, get in and regrade the soil from where they damaged it there with the construction. That's pretty much my presentation. If you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer those. Everyone have Dale come up and talk about the gym if you'd like.
Trustees have any questions for Todd? Thank you, Todd.
Sure.
Hi, hello everybody.
Welcome, Dale.
Thank you. Todd did a pretty thorough job. Since our last meeting, the items that have been completed, storefronts and glass installations at the exterior and the dividing wall between the gym and the lobby, concrete pavement and sidewalks have been poured, except for, like Todd said, just where the new canopy, walkway canopy is, where we're going to tie into. We've got a drawing back that gives us solid elevation points to work and reference from. so that we have ADA compliance on the handicap parking spaces at the existing parking lot there at the high school. The walls have been painted, like Todd said, interior, and the plumbing fixtures installed. The concession counter and overhead doors completed, and the front entry canopy was completed. At least the aluminum portion. We do have concrete columns to wrap around because it's structural, that will wrap around each of the 3 columns. Look ahead items on ceramic tile at the locker rooms. We would already been working on it, but there's some sloping that we have to work in at the bottom of the showers that we want to make sure it's positive towards the drain to keep water from leaking out of the shower so much. The ceiling grid, display cases, sound systems, ceiling light fixtures in the low roof area of the lobby area and the locker rooms and the restrooms. Toilet partitions are due still, and then the doors and hardware. For the period later on, we'll be installing after those items the millwork, acoustical seating tile, vinyl composition tile flooring at the lobby, and the gym wood flooring, cord striping, and then finally the bleacher installations. Now, do you have any questions?
I had one. I know before we had some problem with the rain, a couple weeks ago we had a big
We
rainstorm.
had a good stretch there, and then we had 2 bad rain events, yes.
Yeah, so before we had leakage over into the old existing gym, is that been, you know, and it's supposed to be from drainage from the new gym. Do we have a problem with that after this rain we had, or was it a good?
Not that I know of.
fix?
We dried the wall that ties the 2 together then quite a while back. We have a couple of small leaks that we sent notice to the roofer last week after the heavy rain on Friday, I believe it was. And so those we're working on, and there was also an inspection that was done by the manufacturer, and he's working on those this week also. And then as soon as those are done, we'll have him re-inspect all those. But none to the old gym that I know.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Fidel? Fidel, we don't have any other questions. We thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
That continues on, some other items that we're working on. Overview of the Student Advisory Council April meeting. In your packet, we have the minutes from that. We posed to the students for our last meeting this year, what should learning look like in the classrooms according to them, prepare them for their future. And a great discussion. We posed 3 questions to keep them focused on where we were trying to go. This is basically a beginning to what we're leading toward in our vision setting and our learning framework for the district. You see the discussion that we had, and one that stood out to me was a question about giving high school students the option to leave campus to attend classes at Delmore College. I visited with Mr. Bennett. We talked about this for a while, talking about how the grading policy as it currently stands does not give credit towards their GPA for taking college credit off of campus. But as we're pursuing, and I'm so glad to see our 2 high school principals here this evening, because we're going to have a report on that here in just a moment. There's been so much that we're doing, and I think it's so great to hear from our students what else do they see that they think that we should be looking at. So those are great things for us to consider, but in order to open things up like that to the magnitude, it's not as simple as just saying go take college credits. You have to think about the GPA, you have to think about being fair and equitable with all students, because some can take courses, others can afford to go off campus, others cannot. So there's so many things we have to consider. But I think a lot of the things that they brought up at our last meeting are things that, you know, definitely fit right into the things that the administrative team has already been discussing. One was start the college mindset earlier, improve self-sufficiency and time management skills. Yes, these are our students saying this. So, I mean, I'm amazed by what comes out of their mouths. And I love that because that fit right into the AVID program that we've already been talking about, just trying to find the funding and the way to make that happen. So it's interesting to hear our students talk about some of the very same things that we're talking about, and as it rises up to the top, that together all voices can be heard and we can figure out a way to bring more access to all of our students. I didn't know, Mr. Molax, if you wanted to add anything.
No, I just think it's an outstanding program all year. The only thing that I'd like to see is maybe beforehand, they could have some time to meet as a group on their campuses to discuss what questions we have for them, so they can come to the meeting a little bit better prepared, because most time they come and they don't really meet together as a group. They just kind of come individually and come with their own thoughts, but if they get sit with the campus, if the campus administrator sit down and you know, give them time to come together before they come to our meetings, it would help them out. I think they come up with a, you know, and we'll try to provide them a list of questions we want them to deal with. And overall, I think it's an excellent program all year. We got very valuable input from them. Again, I want to thank the administrators. You guys, I don't know where you selected them or how you selected them, but you got some good, you know, you got some good kids on the campus that we did, and all of them participated. All of them had to have a thought. I mean, there's no wallflowers sitting there kind of commenting. They were talking. So, you know, sometimes you couldn't shut them up. So, they were good.
Yeah, sometimes you have to redirect a little bit.
Yeah.
No, but I think for the last meeting, we did really well, and we talked about doing it more in that parameters, having key focus that you know about prior, that they can prepare. You've had a chance as campus principals to discuss with them before they come in, because there's so many things that sometimes they bring up things just because they just don't know. Like one of theirs, you know, the whole last part of it was about the STAR test, about the TEKS and all that, and we listened, but they just don't understand. We don't have control over that. That's state mandated. These are things that we must do. But it's great conversation, and then we can share with them so that they can understand more, that this is not something that we're making up and trying to do to them. These are things, these are processes they have to go through. So I think it's been good.
Ms. Cook, I also like to add, we had some very strong leadership from the seniors. The
Yes.
seniors are very outspoken, so the younger students take note of that.
Yes.
Then me and Johnny and Ms. Cook, we had a good time. I think I might have missed one meeting. We enjoyed it. Look forward to next year.
Next is our enrollment report. For our 5 and 6 weeks, we were at 1535 for our enrollment. That's pretty much, I think the highest we ever were this year was 1556 or 8. But then we've pretty much been hanging right there this entire year. So hopefully over the summer, some of these apartments will continue to be rebuilt, homes. I know we have a lot of people buying homes, so hopefully when school starts back, we'll see more students return. The next report you have is our April 1st administration of the 5th and 8th grade STAR results. It's really important for us to state this was the first administration. The second administration is this week. So by the time you're getting this now, I had sent it out to you in a weekly update right after we received them. I just wanted to bring it out again. We're very impressed though with the first administration. When we compare it to first administration last year, you see we had growth in every area. And so kudos to the hard work. There's still areas that we want to see improve even more. We'd like to see all of them improve till we get them up in the 90s, of course. But we feel like the trajectory is going in the right direction. That's what we want to see is growth, turning this thing around, and providing for our students what's needed for them to have success in all of their tests. This also includes students that will be pulled out once the actual scores are all taken into account for accountability. This counts every student that was in the seat taking the test on that day. So some of these students may have been that just moved in with us, weren't here with us all year. So when you look at these scores, I think it's important to remember it is first administration. There's many variables that are still in place. Be careful not to compare ourselves. If you happen to see the scores from other districts, be careful not to compare that, because there are too many variables there, especially with our 8th grade math. When you look at Algebra 1 versus 8th grade math, which we won't get into into all that tonight, but, you know, I think it's important that we just keep it in perspective, but know that we have, the minute we got them, started looking at them, I was very proud of Mr. Sager and Mr. King. They immediately, as soon as they got the scores, they had a plan, actually before they got them, they had a plan in place. They had indicated which students needed those interventions and made it start happening. So the second administration, we're hoping to see this totally go to a whole nother level. So I appreciate the hard work of everyone. And this is the last week of the testing. Hallelujah. And then we'll, of course, we'll have some summer testing that we have. But we will know later in July how we fared. And then that will help us to make our decisions moving forward. Any questions on that one? Okay. I also put in a college and career prep report. This is from our last meeting. We had a request, you know, what else could we do to have preparatory classes or opportunities for our students. So I thought that was a great question, and I appreciate that. We always want to be challenged to what else can we do. But I also wanted you, because I felt bad that I had not been sharing with you, and so I'm still learning all the reports I need to give to you. I wanted you to see the great things that our counselors at the high school have been doing. And so I provided that because I know over the last several years, they've been trying to make this shift under the leadership of Mr. Bennett. And I know now Ms. Hale will take that and continue on to really ensure that our students are being prepared for college and career, that they have opportunities, they have access. And you can see all the things just this year that they have implemented, put in, and I appreciate Stephen sending this over, and so we could put this together. Their goals for next year, some of them were listed. But I think the main piece I wanted to focus on, just for time's sake, was the measures of success. So when they look at the TSI information, they're showing improvement just over the past several years. The SAT and ACT data will be available soon, so we'll be looking at that, and we feel like we're going to see improvements there by the just the actual support that they've given and so forth. I don't see why we wouldn't. AP test information will be coming to us in July, and we can look at what else we need to do in that area. But one thing we did put in here that Stephen had sent me today, or maybe it was on Friday, was dual credit. He mentioned that the freshmen, it was this year's freshmen, correct? Or is it this
year's seniors.
Well, the freshmen taking dual credit.
Yes.
Okay, this was the first year that
Correct.
we had freshmen taking dual credit. So that is exciting, because a lot of districts have not moved that direction. So I applaud them for having the foresight to go ahead and move forward with that. Also working toward looking at the middle school, having TSI testing done there, and even maybe the potential of what dual credit opportunities maybe for 8th graders would look. Of course, I can't even do 8th grade right now. Yes, okay. I knew the rules had changed, so as I said that, I'll make sure I was correct. But I think this speaks for itself. In 2017-18, there was a total of 72 college hours that were completed by our students. In 2018-19, 216 college hours. Am I stating that correctly?
That's just for the senior class.
Yes, just for the senior class. Okay. Sure I've got that right. That is quite an increase. And so when you look at now, we've got our freshmen up that are able to take the courses, looking at all these opportunities, whether it's on campus, off campus. I just wanted to start here because I think it's important as we end the year that we see there are great things that are happening. Now, that's not to say we're sitting here and saying, okay, we're so proud of ourselves. Not at all. That's why they had included this long list of what else they want to do, and we have many conversations about this. So I just wanted to share that. Both of our high school counselors are here this evening, and I appreciate that. So if you have any questions or any more information you'd like at this point.
I just have one. At one point, several years ago, we had agreements with Del Mar, Texas A&M Kingsville, and Texas A&M Corpus Christi for dual credit. So my understanding right now, are we only using Del Mar as a source, or are we using the other universities as well? You may want to we're being recorded, so you have to the microphone.
Well, I know Rochelle can probably address this a little better than I can, but I know we've had agreements before with UT Permian Basin, even Brigham Young University, anyone that offers the dual credit program. But we have just really established a great relationship with Del Mar as far as the dual credit goes. They constantly train us. We have a great relationship with the Del Mar representatives that come out to our campus and help us with all sorts of things, from FAFSA, Apply Texas, registration for Del Mar classes. So right now, we feel really, really comfortable with Del Mar. And the great news with that is all those credits will transfer to, say, Kingsville, Indian Corpus, many other state schools, and some private universities in the state. So we feel really comfortable right now with Del Mar.
So Del Mar is the only one we have on board right now.
Well, if a student wanted to say, I want to take a class at UT Permian Basin, we can sign them up. However, for $99 and the amount of resources that are available to these students, if they want to go to the Del Mar campus, to the writing lab, the math lab, that's a great resource for them. If they take a class at BYU or, say, like I said, UT Permian Basin, they won't have that resource.
No, I understand, but I'm just saying, from a restricted standpoint, there's something from stopping us to creating those same opportunities with A&M Kingsville and A&M Corpus Christi.
Well, excuse me. I understand in the past, we have had A&M Kingsville come to campus, but that's a really difficult logistically speaking, because with our dual credit classes, we have 8 periods to choose from. We have them in the Ingenuity Lab. So if we had an instructor come from Kingsville, that may be only 1 or 2 periods, so there are going to be scheduling conflicts, and that could really hamper the growth of that class, if that makes sense. Anything you can add on that?
Yes, it took,
Microphone to the radio board.
for an instructor to come to the campus, there has to be a minimum of 15 students taking the same course. And then it's, like you said, the cost is almost double
Right.
of Del Mar.
So as we look into the opportunities that some of the kids mentioned in the SAC, as far as if we can ever open our doors to allow them to leave campus to do that, that would be possibly an option we could look to at that point.
It would be an option, except for time constraints. Like Gregory Portland, they go to Del Mar every day. They take firefighter courses, they do all of it on campus. But they're 15 minutes closer to Del Mar than we are. And for our students to do that, and the courses are offered in the morning, they wouldn't, that would be all they could do all day long. They wouldn't, time constraints.
You're saying logistical.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've also included in your, for the report, summer school programs, on page that is, you set off. November 27, I only have part of the numbers. 27, the summer school programs, all that's going on. I appreciate the city just pulling that together, and you see our times and where we're having them. So we're excited about those opportunities. I've provided for you just some information on what we're doing as far as our district handbooks and constitution evaluations between now and through July. We, of course, the code of conduct is something that by policy we bring back to you, we'll bring in August for your approval. That's basically handed down to us from the state. So this being a legislative session, I'm almost certain we will have changes. So we will bring those to you, and Wayne's already been working on that, keeping his eye out for anything that's coming. So he's also started looking at all of our student handbooks, what's included there. Coach Johnson is looking at the athletic constitutions and creating an athletic handbook. So all those things are in the works. And then we will bring the code of conduct back to you in August for your approval, and I will do an informational item on any of the updates that we've made to the federal handbooks. Our vision setting and learning design and goal setting timeline is on the next page. In August 1st 14th, we will have our summit. This will be all stakeholders coming together. We will have 2 times for them to choose from, 11 to 1 or 6 to 8. We have not determined the location at this point, more than likely because we're doing this as part of our in-service, because we want our teachers and our staff to have an opportunity to have a voice in this process. So we're providing it as a part of one of our in-service days. So that's August 14th, 11 to 1 will be all of our staff doing that. We're going to do it at a very large location with hopes that the city will come in, and a lot of the leaders I've been talking to, they will truly join us now, and as we go through the exercises to talk about our beliefs, where we want to see our district go, and so forth. And then another opportunity 6 to 8. Then in September, the 16th, 17th, and 18th will be a group of no more than 30, which will be a representation of all stakeholders, and we will come together, and you see the outline on the 16th is basically taking all that information we gathered from the summit to develop what our beliefs are and our call to action, and then begin to design our learning framework. What are we going to expect it to look like in Aransas Pass ISD in our classrooms? We say, for example, engagement is important, and what would that look like? And so it's more than just having a vision that we put on a wall or something. There's nothing wrong with that. You've got to have a vision to start. But, I think what the process we're going through, and I applaud you for being willing to do this, we're digging deep. And we're going to do more than just have a vision. We're going to say, okay, this is what we want it to look like. How do we get there? And what do we need to provide? What resources, training, and so forth. That it will culminate on September 18th, where we'll look at our strengths, our weaknesses, all the things, obstacles that might be in our way, and how we can overcome them to achieve these goals that will be developed on that last day. My hope is that what we will be looking at is having 3. You have a committee. We'll decide, and we'll be looking at this here in June, July, and I'll visit with Mr. Kelly on how you want to do that. But the hope is that we will have at least 3 of you maybe that can come to the majority of this as representation of the board, and will constantly be reporting back to the others that could just not possibly, because of your job constraints, attend all of this. We'll get the information back to you. But I'm hoping that on that September 18th, at least 1 to 5, that you're all able to be in attendance for the development of the goals. So that way we will make sure you know the whole process all the way through, have the information, and then September 18th, 1 to 5, you all join us. We would post it so that it's legal, and you would all be a part of the development of the goals, which ultimately then would be brought to you in October 14th or final.
Usually when we go through this process, there's some strengths would be adding positions or creating job descriptions that to meet these goals. But we will already have passed the budget and moved forward on that whole subject. So do you see that being an obstacle as this framework here, this calendar, as to changes, or we just kind of open up and create it at that point?
If it's going to be staffing changes at that point, you'd be looking at the year out, because more than likely you're right, we would not be able to do it already. Right. But as far as any initiatives or things like that, there's no reason we can't begin the training processes. Normally, anytime you're going to make a shift, it's going to take you a year or 2. And part of this process will be the first year, it will look like this. By 3 years, we want it to be by this. Our 5, so you'll be look like a 1, 3, 5 years out. Because this is not something that will be a quick fix in 1 year. We're trying to grow something it's a culture change. It's what is our mindset? Where do we want to go? So it's a little bit different than you're used to, just coming to a board training, setting goals, sharing them with the superintendent, and the superintendent rolls it out to the admin, and admin, we just try to push it out to the teachers. It can work that way, but what I was proposing here, and if you don't like this, you can put the brakes on it right now, that's why I'm bringing it to you, is that we come at it in a whole different way.
Five-year
because-
projection.
Right, that we truly let it be from the ground up, that it's stakeholders say, what do you want your school to look like? And we listen to them and then we build it accordingly. And everything is driven by our beliefs and our call to action is. And then we start working, because we start talking about budget way before we start bringing it to you. So we do this in August, September, October. That sets us up well that if there's gonna be any budgetary changes for the following year, we can go ahead and start looking at that, how we're going to fund something to that point. I feel like the admin team and our teachers, we've already been having so many great conversations, and then listening to our students through the SAC committee and different things. I'm hopeful that what's going to happen, this will kind of, some of the very same things we've already been talking about and we're already trying to implement and do and work on, that it will mesh. We might have missed the mark, but, and that's where we'll adjust. But I'm hopeful that we've already started pushing that needle, the direction that the community and that you're going to want to see.
No, that ties into exactly, keep talking about when we interviewed. We were all on the same page about moving the needle and willing to try new things. We had felt we had fallen into a complacency. And this is a prime example. I mean, for years we've sat here and created our vision statements and our goals from the top down. I mean, we have a vision, but I mean, James Crenshaw years ago used to say, where the rubber meets the road, is what he used to tell me. It's with our staff and our stakeholders. I mean, and if we really want a true system that's reflective of what our community, our teachers, and our administrators want, you have to have their buy-in. We can push down from the top year after year and not get the results that we want. So I think this was the paradigm shift that we wanted to follow. So to be honest with you, it's a little nerve-wracking for us because it's different. But we continue to preach transparency and team, then we need to have everybody's voice in that. We're looking for you to lead us to get us there.
Well, and I'm
So
looking to we'll have facilitators that have done this in many districts too. So I would be very nervous if I stepped out, tried to do this completely on my own. But I appreciate the team and I have talked about this quite a bit. Because I told them, I said, before we jump off, I need to know that they're ready for this. You need to know you're ready for this, because, this is scary. It's very different. But I think once we go through all this, it's going to be very, very powerful. And we will have built something that we can be proud of, and we will be enrolled and make things happen like you were hoping to see. And my final thing is a calendar of upcoming events. There are a few changes. Did you put the name on or no? Okay. All right, so there are a few changes that we need to make you aware of. On May 25th, we have the dance finals listed, but that's actually May 15th at 6:30 in the high school gym. Remember that May 24th is our last day of school for students, and the kindergarten graduation is at 9 a.m. at the Civic Center that day. So you will see something very adorable come to the kindergarten graduation. And I think that it's what's so great is to watch parents and the pride they have in their babies.
We just noise in the high school.
Merger.
Then I hope, if at all possible, that you can join us on the 31st for our staff end-of-year luncheon this year. We're not having breakfast, we're having a luncheon. It's going to begin at 12:30 at AC Blunt. We'll have we welcome you to join us earlier if you have time to flip a few burgers as we cook them outside on the grill. We're going to grill burgers, and the cafeteria staff will be helping set everything up in the cafeteria. But I think this will be a little different twist so that the teachers can go to their campuses, get everything taken care of, sign off, and then when they get there, they eat. We have our awards, and then once we're done, everybody's free to go. And I think that's the best gift we can give them is let them begin their summer. So I think that will be fun to do it a little differently. And then, of course, graduation is that evening. And then we start our summer hours and all the fun stuff that comes with that. did want to ask you about, while we're talking about calendars, this year the TASB convention is in Dallas, September 20th through 22nd. And you may just want to think about this and then come back to, well, actually, we need to know that because of the rooms. That's right. That's why I was like, why are we doing this so early? Now I remembered. The rooms for that is opening up here the second week of June, I think it is. So we need to know if this is something you wanted to attend this year, or if you wanted to, since it's in Dallas, I know that's quite a trek. And plus, we're going to be doing all this with vision setting and all that we're doing there, so I didn't know if you wanted to take a year off from that while we're going through the process we are as a district, maybe look at bringing something in-house for you, or if you wanted to pursue the convention.
I'm gonna take a break.
I'm fine with taking a break. We can do something in-house.
Yeah, as long as we can
We can
get
get our
an
training.
opportunity
Definitely
for
get
the
your
hours.
Yes.
And-
Well,
That was about
and-
the only thing I could go to that allowed me to get an accumulative amount. I
So we
mean,
can
some
look
of
at other
them go to winter
options that we
conference and
have.
you can't do that. so.
Because we do have a lot going on right now.
Well, with that being in September, because we have the dates I just gave you was the 16th, 17th, 18th. That's when we're trying to do the learning design, and then you turn right around and the 20th, 22nd, through the 22nd is that. Great convention, but it just seemed like a lot happening at one time. Okay. All right, so we'll look at other options to ensure you get your hours and we have our training and so forth. And that concludes the superintendent's report. There's a lot going on, and we wanted to make sure you had all that information.
I'm sorry.
Did she say the kindergarten incarceration?
24.
24, 9 p.m. Yes.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 5 of the financial reports, included in your board package, are the accounts payable, budget status investment report, tax collection report, and the bond finance update. Anybody have any question on the accounts payable, budget status and investment, tax collection report, bond finance update? And just for the public record, bond project report as of 4/30/19. Awarded contract bond allocation for the elementary school was $12,471,352. Paid to date is $10,349,528. Balance of contract is $2,121,823. On the sports complex, the new high school gym, the awarded contract bond allocation was $4,634,180. Paid to date is $3,785,516. Balance of contract is $848,664. On the concession stand, the awarded contract bond allocation was $426,000. Paid to date is $35,427. Balance of contract is $390,572. Other projects, awarded contract bond allocation is $2 million. Paid to date is $1,159,679. Balance of contract is $840,320. Total of all projects, awarded contract bond allocation is $19,531,532. Paid to date is $15,330,152. Balance of contract is $4,201,380. We're getting close on the elementary school and the high school, and then we'll be moving to our next project, which will be the concession stand. And that concludes our financial reports. Agenda item number 6 is the consent agenda. Included in your board package are the minutes of the April 8, 2019. Are there any corrections? If there are no corrections, do I have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted? A motion by Mr. Moak, do I have a second? second by Ms. Diasas. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 7. Action agenda item 7. Consideration and approval of the offer to purchase tax sale properties. The tax office contacted us and asked us to not take any action tonight. Is that correct? Okay. Item number B is to consider and approve the surveillance cameras at Falk Elementary. That's good.
I'm going to turn this over to Jason, and I can tell you about the bids that were received.
Went through, we got 3 bids for the camera systems. This is the surveillance camera systems at the elementary, and ended up getting up 3 bids to it. One was VCS, and that was a company through Grayson and the people that were actually building the new elementary. And then we had Guardian, and they were real good. That goes with it. I went to go see their equipment over there at Beagle, and walked through everything they do with the access control and the integration with the being able to lock doors. And then we had Integrity Solutions, and these guys are the ones that did the security cameras at the high school. That goes with it. And mainly, their bid was pretty much an email sent to me. That goes with it, and they're about the price range anywhere between $40,000 to $67,000 that goes with it. On the cameras, when you look at it, it's just a camera, but it goes into it, and you look at quality, and you start looking at things that go with it. We got together as a team, looked at through all the bids that go with it, and we selected for your approval Guardian that goes with it. It just so happens that they're also the low bidder. They are also on buy board that goes with it as well too. So, if you have any questions, there's a whole bunch of information in there, so that goes with it.
Very reputable.
Yes, they're in they're in a lot of the schools that are in Texas. That goes with it.
Does the board have any questions? Got a motion to approve Guardian as the vendor for the electronic surveillance system.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Director, to have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Molinak. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is a declaration of an auction surplus. Ms. Cook.
This is, the purpose of this auction is to clear out the Falk Elementary campus so we can proceed with demolition. So we need approval from you to declare of unsold online auction items at worthless salvage, as worthless salvage. So we can continue on our move in, move out plan.
Trustees have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the recommendation for the declaration of unsold online auction items as worthless salvage? Motion by Ms. Diasas. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Director. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to consider and approve textbook adoptions. Ms. Cook.
Yes, you will see in your packet, the English language arts, reading K through 8, spelling 1 through 6, handwriting K through 5th, and personal with financial literacy. The selection committee is listed also. I want to applaud them and Ms. Dominguez under her leadership. They were very diligent in ensuring that they had looked into all of their options. Ms. Dominguez brought in representatives from each company that brought materials and provided insight for them, and then they came back around after it and had further discussions, and this is their recommendation for our adoption and bring it to you tonight for approval.
Trustees have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the recommendation for textbooks as selected by the committee?
Make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Diostas, a second by Mr. Molinak. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is agenda number 8, discussion for future items. It's time set aside for any board member to request any additional information. Anybody have anything you'd like to request?
That superintendent's reports are scared, huh? I was looking, I said, ooh, that was a long one.
Agenda item number 9 is to convene an executive session as authorized by the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code 551.001 concerning any and all purposes permitted by the Act. Section 551.074, discussion of personnel, resignations, and recommendations for hire. Time is now 8:11 and the board will convene an executive session. Reflect it's now 8:37 and the board has reconvened in open session to act on any items requiring action from closed session. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to approve the resignations of Kelly Pape, Barbara Browning, Dawn Jamie, and Julia Cowan. A motion?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Rector, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Molinak. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the new hire of Chris Bentley?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rector, second by Mr. Molinak. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The time is now 8:38. With there being no other business before the board, this meeting is adjourned.